You're listening to the Retro Mo Podcast. I'm your host, Mo, and I love to play and review old video games and a few new games too. If you prefer to read instead of listen, check out my written reviews at retromo.substack.com. In this episode, I'll be sharing my experience with Total Annihilation for the PC, released in 1997. I've scored this game 8 out of 10. A great game. An underrated RTS gem that was too quickly eclipsed by StarCraft. The 90s were a great era for RTS gamers. Dune 2 kicked off the modern era of RTS games in 1992. Warcraft followed in 94. Command & Conquer and Warcraft 2 in 95. Command & Conquer Red Alert in 96. And then Age of Empires and Total Annihilation dropped in 97. The genre was developing quickly, but in 98, the immensely popular StarCraft captured the RTS zeitgeist and just eclipsed many of these great RTS forerunners. To put this in context with sales data, Total Annihilation sold over 1 million copies. That's pretty good for a game in the 90s. Age of Empires sold over 3 million copies, but StarCraft and the Brood War expansion sold over 10 million copies. Whoa. Even Age of Empires 2, another RTS behemoth that soaked up the attention of any remaining RTS fans, only sold an estimated 6 million copies, which even includes the HD edition re-release in 2013. StarCraft is a fantastic game, but one of the unfortunate drawbacks of its great success was that some of these earlier RTS forerunners were quickly forgotten. Total Annihilation certainly maintains its cult following, but many gamers I chat with have never heard of or played this gem. By the early 2000s, Total Annihilation was on sale for $10 in a bargain bin at Walmart. That's how I got a copy. The genre just moved on so quickly, and this fantastic game did not get the full attention that it deserves. Hopefully this review will encourage you to give Total Annihilation a shot. The gameplay is top-notch RTS fun. There's 2 factions, Core and ARM, and they're relatively balanced, though most agree that ARM's superior air units give them an edge in higher level play. Core's superior naval units rarely provide enough benefit. Resources are unlimited in Total Annihilation, unlike StarCraft's minerals or gas, which can run out. And in Total Annihilation, the resources accumulate at a constant rate. If resources are low, units or buildings in progress become stalled, but will still be completed as resources become available. Skilled players will maximize their resource usage and their efficiency in order to avoid stalling. Different construction units also build at different speeds, which is an interesting feature of this game. The unique commander unit has the fastest nano lathe, which is used for construction, and advanced construction bots build faster than basic bots. Groups of construction units can also be assigned to assist other construction bots or plants, which greatly increases the speed of construction. So skilled players will take advantage of this by creating large amounts of flying construction bots to increase the output speed of their plants. Total Annihilation offers 25 single-player missions in its main campaign. The Core Contingency expansion also adds 12 more missions. You can choose whether to play as ARM or Core, but each campaign is parallel to the other, just with a different end result. I will say most of these missions are very vanilla, not offering much variety beyond destroy all enemy units or capture this structure, etc. But the basic gameplay of Total Annihilation is strong enough that the single-player campaign can still be a worthwhile experience, though the missions do begin to feel repetitive towards the end. I found the expansion missions to be frustrating at times. By default, the units do move pretty slow, especially compared to StarCraft, but you can increase the game speed as needed once you've got a handle on things. Thankfully, the AI opponents in Total Annihilation are not so brutally difficult like in StarCraft or Warcraft 3. Custom games against AI and LAN parties with friends are really where this game shines. You can pick up the Total Annihilation Commander Pack from GOG.com, which includes a DRM-free version that you can use to get a LAN party going without any issues. Through the eyes of a modern gamer, the visuals are not much to shake a stick at, but in '97, this game looked pretty good. I do prefer Total Annihilation's bright and vibrant colors when compared to other RTS games from that era. The ARM homeworld is actually very nice in particular. You can play Total Annihilation in full 1080p, but it zooms out your perspective so that all of your units appear tiny. It's not very practical. Unfortunately, this means that the best way to play today is just by sticking with a lower resolution. I find the backstory to be very interesting. This 4,000-year war began over a conflict regarding the essence of humanity. The core empire began patterning human consciousness into mechanical bodies, and the ARM rebellion has fought to maintain their biological humanity, but in order to survive, they've resorted to cloning warriors that wear mechanical battle suits. Both factions are dead set on completely annihilating the other, hence the title, Total Annihilation. The voice narration before each mission is a nice touch, but the lack of any named characters is a glaring shortcoming. StarCraft really set the standard by featuring a full cast of memorable characters with frequent in-game dialogue and story sequences. Total Annihilation's story is fine, it's just not as developed. The soundtrack is another highlight of this game. Long before Jeremy Soul's meteoric rise to fame as the composer of the Skyrim soundtrack, he composed this excellent score for Total Annihilation. The score was performed and captured live by the 95-piece Northwest Sinfonia Orchestra. However, it should be noted, some disturbing allegations against Soul have come to light, and this has soured many people on the lasting legacy of his work. The sound effects and overall sound design of Total Annihilation are also a notch above. When two armies meet in the field of battle, there is just this cacophony of explosive sounds and sound effects. It's just nirvana for the ears. It really contributes to the epic nature of this game. While Total Annihilation has not reached the heights of acclaim that StarCraft has, it is still an excellent RTS title that is worthy of your time. Any fan of the genre needs to give this one a go. Thanks for listening to the Retro Mo podcast. As always, I do my best to keep all of my content spoiler-free and rated E for everyone. If you find this podcast enjoyable or helpful, tell a friend and consider giving a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app. If you have questions or comments, you can send an email to retromopodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Godspeed.